Can Legos help you write? Or would you prefer a maquette? Perhaps you need to think like a director to move characters around your stage. Exits and entrances are important. Hello and welcome back to my channel as I share the writing journey with you. I'm Byerrum, a mystery author with opinions, gossip, and sometimes tips. If you want more information about me or my books, I will put some links in the description below. Now, I know how irritating it is for people to beg you to subscribe to their channels, or shame you, or you can buy them coffee, or 100 other things. I'm going to refrain from that today. But if you feel so moved, you know what to do, and I will be eternally grateful. Now, back to the subject at hand. Recently, I was with friends who are writers, and the discussion turned to how hard it can be to keep track of all your characters and whether they are standing, sitting, or even still in the room. It's easy to lose track of characters, especially if they have a walk-on part. Is the waiter still there, waiting interminably for the order, or bustling off with a coffee pot? Sometimes readers can get confused, especially if it's a complicated action scene. Simply remember, you control the horizontal, you control the vertical. Nevertheless, editors can get really nitpicky over the smallest of actions. One editor I had was obsessed with explaining things I thought were completely obvious. Did Lacey open the door? Did she close the door? She put her hand on the knob. She worked in a cubicle, so no. You, the writer, should work these things out before turning in the manuscript and avoid all those awkward conversations with the editor who maybe only read it with half an eye or half an ear, especially if you can anticipate what the editor's quirks are. Let me reiterate that exits and entrances are vital, and it may help to think like a director and choreograph your characters' movements. They're in, they're out, they're in bed, they are dead. Exit, stage left. Maybe that waiter in the last scene drops a tray, creating a pre-planned diversion. Suddenly that character is more important to the plot. Maybe he or she provides a vital clue. In the theater, some set designers use a maquette, which according to Google is a scale model or rough draft of an unfinished sculpture or work of architecture. You see this in occasional movies. The director and the designer work together, and the maquette shows either why something will work or it won't work. Maybe you need a new door. Maybe it needs to be on a different level, a different floor. Perhaps you as a writer need something visual to help you through the action. You could sketch out the scene to visualize it or create a rudimentary maquette to position the action. If a shot comes from a window, do you know where the window is? How high? Do you need to know where the shot would land, at least theoretically? Is it going to hit the target? Will the main character explain how it all went wrong or figure out who had their hand on the trigger? Thinking like a director might help. After all, you are the director of your book or story, and you can move the characters around like puppets if you like. And one writer suggested using Lego characters and moving them around on the stage to know where they are at any given moment in a scene. I like that idea because Lego characters offer a visual cue with which to work when most of the time your story is all in your head. Now, I don't have Lego characters. I do, however, have an Edgar Allan Poe action figure. It was suggested that Goodwill may have some Lego characters at a reasonable price. I looked at our local thrift store and there were none to be had. Nevermore. Using characters or small toys or even dinosaurs may add a playful element to your writing and keep you entertained so you can entertain your readers. However, this play, this action, these characters may become too involved and distract you from your main work, the book. It depends on you and your discipline levels. You might want to use color-coded index card for characters and actions to keep things straight. I did this once. It was fun to write out all the cards and thumbtack them to a corkboard, but I never looked at them once I had written the notes. It proved not to be the best method for me. Maybe Edgar is. I have to stick to the tried and true and simply write it all out. If you use Legos or a maquette or Edgar Allan Poe, let me know. Does it help make things more clear? There are lots of tips and tricks in the writing game. These are just a few. So please let me know what you think. That's all I have for now, and I think I should exit stage right. I'll see you next time. Bye.